哋係校園電視台嘅主持人，我係布慧喬，
我係陳嘉瑤。慧喬啊，你最近有冇咩好書推介俾我睇啊？我最近好中意睇電子書，我啱啱好先睇完我本舊書，想揾本新書嚟睇下。
呢方面我就唔太清楚啦，我平時都會養成閱讀嘅習慣。不過我哋今日有幸邀請咗幾位同學進行好書分享嘅活動，話唔定佢能夠幫到你呢。
咁就好啦，我哋即刻請佢哋嚟分享下啦。
Good morning, everyone. I'm Joey from 5D.
And I'm Ailey from 5C.
Ailey, what kind of book do you prefer?
Mainly thriller and horror books.
Oh, me too. I'm gonna introduce mine to you. It's called The Dry.
Right.
Yeah, it is about a federal agent, Aaron, returned to his hometown to attend his friend Luke's funeral, and who has allegedly killed his wife and their son Billy. So that Aaron is trying to figure out how the truth are, and trying to find out who is the real murderer.
Oh, that sounds interesting. So does he find out who the killer is in the end?
Well, I'm not going to tell you the end of the story because it is the joy to explore the real facts of it by yourself. But I can tell you that he finally find out the victim. He is the victim who is innocent. So how about yours?
My book is basically a horror story that has also an adaptation in movies, and it's Doctor Sleep, written by Stephen King, as his other creations are It or Pet Sematary. And this book right here is a very interesting and long book, and it's about the main character, Danny Torrance. He's troubled by his childhood in the Overlook Hotel from what happened inside it, and there's a sort of mystical power that's called the Shine. And he can basically just see ghosts. And he's been seeing ghosts since he was little, and that really tormented him and made him he's a drunk man always at a bar, which isn't very inspiring, but he does change at the end. But this book has a bad ending. I'm not going to tell you the ending, but I just want to say it's a bad ending, and he does die. But there are also other characters called Abra that helps him redeem himself, and that's basically it.
Can I say it is a kind of a mysterious story?
It's
about the Shine?
It's a story that also has an antagonist, but it's also a very mythical and mysterious story, you can say. It's also sort of like a detective story, because they also, as same as your book, have to find out who the killer is.
Yeah. That sounds really interesting, though.
Right.
My book is also quite similar to yours, because it's kind of like you're being a detective for the case, and you have to explore the truth of the matter and find out who is the real murderer or the criminal. So it's really interesting when you're watching it, the process of it.
Yes, and that's really what I think I love it the most, and maybe you too, because horror stories, they give you horror, and they keep you up at night, basically. But you also like the thrill of it. That's why it's also called a thriller. And, you just have fun reading it and use your imaginations to think of whatever nightmares you can think of.
Oh, yeah, sure. And sometimes you'll get goosebumps when you're watching and when you're reading some, the enthralling plot.
Yes, I agree.
Of the interesting part of it.
Yeah. And there's also some very interesting characters. I did say that the character inside my book isn't really inspiring, but he does changes himself at the end, and it just proves that even when you are down in the dumps, there is a chance that you can climb back up and be a better self.
Oh, so you have learned a lot from it, it inspired you to be a better person?
Yes, and not be like him in the story, because he wasted a lot of time in his life.
Oh, yeah. By the way, it has a film adaptation, which has been released in 2020. It's also called the same name, The Dry. If you're interested in it, you can go and watch it.
That does sound interesting, and I do want to watch the movie afterwards. But same as yours, my book also has a movie adaptation that is from 2019. And this book, it's played by very famous actors. So if you're interested in the story or the movie, so please watch it. And if you have seen the movie, go read the book. It's really good, and I highly recommend it.
我喺成品書裏揀嘅呢本書就係呢本書啦，《美好少女的垂直社會》。呢本書好唔同嘅係，佢會完全打破讀者所想像嘅一個理想完美嘅一個世界，係一本反烏托邦嘅小説啦。佢嘅類型係帶住一啲輕微嘅科幻嘅啦。講嘅係女主角係喺一個島國入面生活啦，喺未來嘅2050年海平面上升。喺一次自然災害之後，佢自己原本嘅家園被淹沒，國家因為資源不足啦，把人分成咗唔同嘅一啲階級，佢哋手上都會帶咗一個手環啦。而女主角同埋佢嘅朋友就分配到暫且安全嘅一個綠色嘅一個地區，而佢哋會喺綠色地區入面返工返學。雖然佢哋係分咗喺呢個綠色嘅地區啦，但佢哋默認佢哋之間仲係有一啲階級嘅一啲之分啦。成本書好似喺度講緊佢哋之間嘅一啲勾心鬥角，但係事實上係想表達原生家庭嘅一啲因素，使佢哋想要更多嘅愛同埋嚟接納，嚟換取佢哋心中嘅一絲絲嘅一啲安定啦。我覺得呢本書好新奇、好有趣，都好推介大家去閱讀一下。咁你喺成品之旅又揀咗本咩書啊？
咁我喺成品之旅揀咗本叫做《自仍然在一起與不在一起嘅朋友》。咁呢本書係關於真實事嘅，咁關於作者同讀者分享咗佢自身嘅經歷，見證咗友情由着時間去消逝，或者係消逝之後重新再遇翻。咁呢本書嘅內容係突然間有個朋友，唔係因為鬧交，都唔係因為反面而突然間唔見咗。咁之後作者就發現呢個朋友係非常重要嘅。咁我覺得我哋喺每一個階段都會遇到唔同嘅朋友，所以我覺得呢本書就非常貼近我哋嘅日常生活，所以我非常推薦俾大家。
卓謙，你有冇參加成品之旅啊？
有啊。
你可唔可以同我哋分享下你揀咗啲咩書咧？
咁咧，我揀嘅書咧就係呢本叫做《科學運作》嘅書啦。咁呢本書咧係屬於一本百科全書。咁相對於平時嘅小説嚟講咧，佢嘅知識性咧就比較強啲嘅，咁就比較沉悶，冇平時小説嘅高低起伏嘅情節同埋一啲情緒嘅牽引性啦。所以咧有啲同學睇落嚟咧就會可能覺得比較沉悶。對於科學有熱愛興趣嘅同學嚟講咧，咁我覺得咧就啱好合適啦。咁佢吸引我有咩咧？就係有佢係講咗好多主題啦，唔單止係籠統嘅 free can buy 啦。咁佢除咗 free can buy 之外咧，仲有講一啲例如太空啊、地理知識啊，仲有一啲黑洞論啊之類嘅一啲仲有哲學類嘅一啲主題啦。咁我覺得就幾有趣啦，呢啲主題。美斯啊，你有冇參加成品之旅啊？
我有啊。
可唔可以分享下你成品之旅嘅經歷同埋你揀嘅書啊？
我揀呢本書就叫做《逆局》，佢有分上下冊嘅。咁我就而家就暫時睇到下冊啦。佢呢本書就係少少比較屬於嗰啲偵探類型，要推理要諗嘅嗰種書。咁我就比較中意睇呢種書啦。我覺得睇呢種書嗰陣咧，我個腦咧可以更加激發到我嘅思考，從而去諗到更加多嘅細節啦。而呢本書佢講嘅嗰啲橋段小説嘅內容都比較豐富啦。我都好中意睇呢種書嘅。
咁你喺成品書店又揀咗本咩書咧？
我喺成品書店揀咗《人間失格》呢本書啦。咁我自己不嬲就一直喺度睇動漫啊，仲有漫畫啦。有啲角色咧就都係關於作者太宰治佢本人，所以就有興趣就買咗呢本書啦。咁呢本書就係二戰嘅時候發行啦。書嘅大概內容就係講緊為作者太宰治為原型啦，咁去透過主角去講佢嘅一生同埋佢嘅思想啦。可能有啲人就會覺得，哎呀，呢啲書咁深奧，咁真係好難明，點解我哋呢啲咁年輕嘅人仲要睇啲書啦？咁其實呢本書又唔係真係好深奧嘅，咁再睇咗幾次係會明白裡面書中嘅道理啦。即係我記得裡面有一句説話就係、始終一生我仍然深信喺絕望嘅彼岸都有曙光啦。咁 即係就算成本書睇係有種俾人哋覺得好壓抑啊，好令人覺得好 sad 嘅感覺啦。咁但係喺最後嗰句太咗字，佢都會即係去講翻，即係喺絕望盡頭都有曙光，即係帶領我哋去走向正道啊之類。咁太咗字，佢都冇過度去渲染嗰種負面情緒啦。咁即係可能呢啲咁嘅深奧嘅書，我哋係即係可能睇唔明啦，但係再仔細睇嘅話都明白，其實呢啲書可以有啲好，即係有啲道理係我哋值得去明白嘅。所以今次介紹嘅書係《人間世界》，多謝。
多謝晒各位同學嘅分享，今日透過佢哋嘅分享，我認識到更加多唔同類型嘅好書啊！
咁就好啦，希望同學嘅分享都可以幫到各位同學，大家都要記住要養成閱讀課外書嘅習慣。
我哋下次再見，拜拜。